Hello and welcome back to Science Corner. Today we're going to be talking about a new idea involving bone marrow transplants. But very quickly, let's go over what is the point of a bone marrow transplant. Well, there's a lot with immune problems that require an exchange of the immune system. And the way we do that is through bone marrow transplants. Bone marrow has a bunch of different types of cells, but one of the really important ones is stem cells. Stem cells are the cells that we all came from. They're cells that can continue to renew and live a lot longer than most of our other cells and can produce a bunch of different types of cells. Those cells are also contained in our bone marrow and produce all of the immune system cells that go out and attack infections or bacteria or cancer. In people with autoimmune diseases and people that were treated for cancer, often they have problems with their bone marrow. In order to treat some of these diseases, doctors will do a complete bone marrow transplant. And by doing that, it essentially gives the person with the disease or with the lacking immune system brand new cells in which to create a new immune system. However, there are also long-term consequences. People that get a bone marrow transplant are likely to experience things we associate with aging at a much younger age. Things like frailty, infertility, and the onset of other diseases like cancer and cardiovascular diseases. So why is that actually happening? Well, when these stem cells, when bone marrow is transplanted into the person, to go from a small population to a large one takes a lot of effort, and it essentially ages the entire immune system. What that means at a cellular level is that the telomeres in cells, which are protectors of the DNA, get shorter and shorter and shorter until the point where the cell goes to a zombie-like state. And in that zombie state, it can't function correctly. It starts hurting other cells, have disastrous effects if enough of these zombie cells are in the immune system. So how do we go about treating these zombie cells? Well, what if we prevented them from occurring in the first place in bone marrow transplants? I suggest that we use gene editing to increase the expression of this thing called telomerase. Telomerase isn't usually expressed in our cells. It's only in stem cells, which have this masterful ability of self-renewing and living for a whole lot longer. If we put telomerase in other cells, what it does is it keeps our telomeres at a longer and healthier place, avoiding that zombie-like state. So if we treat cells before a bone marrow transplant with this telomerase genetic edit, then they don't become short telomere cells, and then they don't become zombie cells, and then hopefully the person doesn't experience aging at a younger time.